And welcome to Proline, everybody. This is our extended edition, if you will. We do this once a week on Wednesdays, but there are podcasts virtually every day here at the site. Usually about 10 minutes long, and we'll have a game on each day. In the meantime, though, make sure and listen to today's show because we're going to be covering a whole bunch of topics. Hey, Jim will start off with Major League Baseball, where things have gotten very interesting in the series between the Astros and the Yankees. It looked like smooth sailing for Houston. They win the first two games, but since then things have turned around, and all of a sudden the Astros find themselves in trouble against the Yankees team that's just swinging away and making things happen.
Well, and today they're in real trouble because Tanaka, who has been, he pitched decently down in Houston, but his home games, the last 3 or 4 home games, I don't believe he's given up an earned run. And
he's been really hot.
And there, the Yankee bullpen is devastating, whereas I kind of feel like the Houston bullpen is very marginal. And it showed yesterday. It showed yesterday when they blew the lead, 4-0 lead. I'm glad they did because I had the over in the game and I was kind of in trouble when it was 4-0, but I ended up with the cash.
Yeah, well, by the 8th inning, it was an easy win.
No, that's true.
But you're right. I think the bullpen is the big difference, and we keep seeing this basically every season now in the baseball postseason. Is that it is the bullpen that wins games. Obviously, you want to get good starting pitching and offense, but it's the bullpens that are winning games.
I don't know if that's going to be the case today. I mean, both of these guys that are starting for Houston and the Yankees have the ability to go the whole distance. That is very possible. You could probably bet that both of them have the potential, the strong potential, to make it through 7. And
yeah, although Dallas Keuchel is not as reliable on the road, and that I think does have some significance. We punch up the numbers really quickly, and these are Fangraphs numbers. So we're going to get into just a little bit of metrics for a moment on the baseball. And if you look at the split on Dallas Keuchel, over his career it's more pronounced than this, but this year alone, ERA at home is 2.26, on the road 3.53. And if you stretch that into the metric numbers, which a lot of people like to look at, it's actually about the same there. So his ERA and his FIP, xFIP, etc., those are basically the same. Tanaka, well, he's had some awful outings here and there, but he hasn't had any raking. That's the main thing. If you look at him over his past several starts, I mean, boy, this guy is on fire. Look at his last run down his most recent start. Now, he did have that one terrible start at Toronto back on September 22nd, but since then he's been tremendous. And he's really, really good at home. There's a much bigger home-road split difference on Tanaka than there is on Keuchel. Tanaka, on the road, really hasn't been very good. 6.48 overall ERA. That's in fact terrible. But at home, 3.22, and it's been going down. That's the thing. The numbers have just been, they're getting better. He had a couple of blips in September, but I don't think they really mattered very much. We'll see what happens, but I think the Astros might be a little bit of trouble. On the other side, the Dodgers just look like the best team out there right now, Jim.
Well, I agree, and Chicago's not hitting the ball. But the Wood hasn't started a game since the 26th of September, which is like 3 weeks away. What is the case with Wood? What's happening?
Well, he goes through this where he gets some arm soreness and he can't go. And that's happened to him regularly throughout his career, but it doesn't seem to bother him. I mean, he comes off the DL and he's fine. And his whole task is to go 5 or 6 innings. That's it. Rich Hill is somewhat similar, but I think it's more pronounced as far as Wood is concerned. Go through the lineup 2-3 times tops, and that's it. Get him out of there. And the Dodgers can do that because their bullpen, especially at the end of the game, with Brendan Morrow and Henry Jansen has been absolutely great. Right now, we're at the point where if you haven't beaten the Dodgers in 7 innings, you're not going to beat them.
Which is almost the situation you have with the Yankees.
Yeah, and that's through Girardi's outstanding use of his bullpen. He has done a great job in the postseason with his bullpen. Absolutely phenomenal. Anyway, I know you have a play in baseball. Now that's available on the website, correct?
That is correct. It's on the website, and I may add something in the later game as well. I mean, I bet a lot of situations that are. First of all, I bet a lot of in-game stuff, but I will also bet teams. Like I'll bet one team to go under a certain total or over a certain total. So I don't always bet sides and totals. But I have a lot of action in games that are a little bit propish. Looking for props. And I add them. That's a later game today, so I'm not too worried about it right now.
Now let's touch on the NBA briefly because they got underway last night, and what a tough break for the Boston Celtics in the amazing in the very first game. 5 minutes in, they lose the guy their big deal pickup, which is Hayward, with an ugly injury, broken tibia, ankle, whatever, dislocation or something. I mean, so he's going to be out for obviously quite some time. That's a tough way to start the season. The Houston Rockets go into Golden State and get a thrilling 1-point victory. So pretty exciting opening night. Tonight, I have one play at BigFights.com. It's an NBA tip-off winner, $25. And I will tell you what I do at the beginning of the season, and I don't deviate from this. I go strictly on my numbers early in the season. The lines are going to adjust very quickly. You really only get maybe 2 or 3 days value out of this, but you got to take advantage of it right away. And my whole thing is looking for underdogs that I believe should be favored. And I have 2 of those tonight. One of them is a free play that I'm going to give out here on the podcast. And the other one, well, I'm not going to tell you what it is, obviously, because you know which side I was taking. But that's available right now at JimFights.com. It's $25. And, hopefully we'll get you into the winner's circle. Jim, you've got several selections up. And in the NBA, you also have one play tonight.
That's correct. And last night was very good. I'm really sad to see what happened with Hayward. That was ugly. And I'm not going to predict this, but those kind of injuries can be career-ending, and you may not see him for a year or two, if at all. I mean, there's a lot of stress. These are big men, and those legs take a lot of punishment. It's going to take a long time to rehab to the point where he can go out back on the floor and play. That's terrible injury. It's just one of those things that happens. It happens in football a lot. We see that a lot. We saw with Aaron Rodgers. We'll talk about that later. But last night was good for me. I had the Celtics and I had Rockets. So I had 2 winners. That's a good way to start the season. And I have one at least tonight. At one at least. But I look for a lot of late information also and pick the brains of other people that I know are very good, as well as my own handicapping. So, yeah, and this is a busy time, man. We got baseball, football, basketball. They got the college right around the corner. It's there's no real time to sleep right now,
No, there isn't. And we haven't even touched on. We're going to touch on some other stuff. NHL. By the way, how about the Vegas Golden Knights? Unbelievable. 5-1 out of the gate for an expansion team. They blow a 4-1 lead last night, then game in overtime. Anyway, I know you've got a system play up for tonight, which is only $15 at the website. I went 2-1 last night. My hockey games don't go up early. I wait for goal confirmation. So, in fact, once we're done with the podcast, I'll be getting back into tonight's NHL schedule. So I can't tell you I can't play yet, but there's one for Jim, one for you on the website, and it's a system play.
A system, you said?
Yes.
Yes. And I know they are very good. I look forward to seeing those because I bet them myself. So a little tip to all you people out there. Dave's betting them and I'm betting them, and we don't lose much. So you want to get involved in that. Dave, let's go to the king of them all, football. And
that sounds good.
We lost a great player last week in Aaron Rodgers, and in my book, 12 points, 11.5, 12-point adjustment in the line.
Incredible.
It's absolutely incredible. I mean, the question has to come up: does this backup have any chance to even remotely play? I mean, to make that kind of an adjustment from a 6-point favorite to a 6-point dog, I mean, you don't see that often.
No, but I'll tell you what, I mean, and I haven't played the game yet. I haven't played anything yet in the NFL, although I definitely will. But, you know, you just look at that line now and see New Orleans laying that kind of a number on the road. There's no way, let me put it this way, it's already gone up 2 points. So if I were going to consider New Orleans, I wouldn't do it at this line. And if I play anything in the game, it'll be Green Bay. Now, I don't know that I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to run to the window and play what is now almost a touchdown, getting close to a touchdown in New Orleans. I think it's adjusted too much.
Well, I do too, Dave. But you know, I think for us that would be considered on the sharp side of the fence when it goes pros versus Joes. We're not looking. We're betting numbers a lot. I mean, it's just not team names; it's numbers, and not all cases. It's not always that way, but when you look at something like this, you got the home field advantage, which is pretty strong in Green Bay. You've got a team that's going to come together, and they're gonna come out on that field with a game plan. And here's how I think the game's going to be played. Now, granted, everybody that plays quarterback in the NFL is a professional. Granted, there's a difference between a 1 and a 10, and Aaron Rodgers was, if there's a 1 to a 10, he's a 12. So this guy that's coming out there is going to produce something. He's mobile, but they have offensive line problems, and they're severe because they got a couple guys hurt last week as well.
Yeah.
I don't think, this is the way I think. It doesn't mean that the coaches are going to do exactly what I say, because I have no influence whatsoever on them. I'm not going to just put this guy in peril to get absolutely killed back there, because they got relatively no backup to him. So I see the game plan here to be extremely conservative. And they're going to try to run the ball, and they're going to try to have some swing passes and dump-off passes. And I don't think they're going to have enough time to throw deep, because that requires your offensive line to put up a lot of protection. I don't see that happening. And New Orleans has been playing decent defense. Last week against the Lions, yeah, there were some points put up, but a lot of that was turnovers that were converted into points. The New Orleans defense has been a little bit better this year. Basically what I'm saying to you, I think the game's going under. I think the number's too high.
Let's look at another NFL game. Before we do that, we've got to touch on college football for a moment. I've got one game up already, and I want to mention that these are my early selections. I put out one a week, and I'm telling you what, they're perfect on the season, okay? They haven't lost one yet. UNLV plus the points last week, which was, they blew the game after leading 27-0, but the spread was never in doubt. So they continue to win. These numbers move, so you've got to get these quickly. And I've got one up this week that I think is a very strong play. That's available on the website right now for just $25. Jim, you've got a college football game up as well. We're getting to that time of season, and you see this every year. I'm not saying specifically which game, but we're getting into that time of year where we find out how tough it is to stay unbeaten in college football. And that's why anybody who thinks that Clemson's out of the playoffs because they lost to Syracuse last week, think again, because one loss is still going to be good enough to get into the playoffs.
There's even a possibility we might get a two-loss team in there.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't think the Pac-12 is going to get anybody in, and I would say it's unlikely that the Big 12 will get anybody in. So there is definitely a possibility we could see a two-loss team out of the SEC or the ACC or the Big Ten. Yes, I think that's definitely possible.
Right. Last week I had a college game of the year, and it won, and I was very happy about that. It didn't win as easily as I had hoped, but it did win, and that's all that matters. You look
I had a tremendous week in college football.
I think you were like weren't you like 8-1 last week?
8-2.
Okay.
I lost the late play, so I ended up 8-2, and most of those games are going to be on the website again this week. Now, I haven't posted most of my stuff, only the one game up, but I should have other games available by tomorrow at jimprice.com. All right, let's hit the NFL. In one game we want to definitely look at is the Panthers and the Bears, because the Bears are becoming one of the more interesting teams in the NFL. Now, they've only got 2 wins, but Jim, they've had 2 other games that they could have definitely won. In fact, you might argue they should have definitely won. So this is a team that's 2-4, but could easily be 4-2. I know Mitch Trubisky was shaky in his debut, but they won the game anyway against the Baltimore Ravens, and now they go home for a matchup with what I'll still call an inconsistent Carolina Panthers team. I'll tell you that on my numbers, and this is just on the raw numbers, so I haven't played the game yet, but on my raw numbers, I make Chicago a 1.5-point favorite here. So it's going to be either Bears or nothing for me in that game. I think they're an underrated team right now.
Well, you make good points. Rookie quarterbacks always bother me, especially if the defenses can scheme up stuff that will confuse them. But I'm not impressed very much with Carolina. Cam Newton, to me, is a tremendous athlete, absolutely incredible athlete, but he's a very inconsistent passer. He does a lot of damage and creates a lot of damage with his legs, and as long as he's able to do that, he becomes very dangerous and very effective. But his passing has always been, his passes are high a lot. It's some days, some weeks it's okay. Other weeks, like last week, it was not. And I when rookie quarterbacks, you do have a home dog here in a non-division game. It's a big game, for both teams, but it's not as big as the division game, of course. Now, I agree with your side. I did not play the game. I'd like to talk a little bit about the Super Bowl matchup this week. And why I have an opinion, but I'd like to ask you, what do you think the problem is with the Atlanta Falcons drop-off offensively? We already know that the New England drop-off is mostly defensive because they're at the bottom of the league and giving up points. But Brady's playing at a very high level, even though he's got the team itself has some flaws. He's playing very well. But Atlanta's drop-off offensively is remarkable considering they led the league in points last year. They're giving up second-half leads consistently.
The problem is it's like the Super Bowl being relived over and over again. They can't play a second half. And I don't know whether it's psychological or whether it's coaching or whether it's a combination of the two. But all I know is it's definitely happening. And at this point in time, if you're going to play an Atlanta Falcons game and you like the Falcons, I would say wait and play just the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. They can't play after halftime right now. And yet in the first half, they look terrific. So if the results of the games are telling you what might happen, that's the way you line up your bets. And if I get involved with Atlanta in this game, which I don't know that I will, but if I do, it's going to be first half only, Jim.
That's a good point. A good suggestion, I believe. You know, the biggest change with Atlanta, and I've been harping on this since the off season, was Shanahan leaving to go to San Francisco as the head coach and bringing on Sarkisian, who I believe is mostly a college coach. And I didn't like the hire. I don't think he's qualified to be an NFL offensive coordinator, and I may be all wet with that, but it is showing up on the field. They are not
showing up.
Go ahead.
It is. It's showing up on the other side of the ball though, because look, they got the Dolphins down 17-0, and Miami's a really bad offensive team, really bad. Jay Cutler is at the very bottom of the quarterback ratings among starting quarterbacks. He's terrible. And yet that team down 17-0 scored all the rest of the points. And to me, it was a combination of bad offense by Atlanta and also bad defense by Atlanta after halftime. So, I agree with you on Sarkisian, who right now is not cutting them out. But there's some problems on the defensive side that go all the way back to that Super Bowl when they couldn't stop. I know they screwed up with the game plan and didn't kick the field goal when they should have in the fourth quarter. But the fact is, they couldn't stop anything after halftime last year in the Super Bowl, and that trend is continuing this year. They got some issues there.
Yeah,
it's not just a Super Bowl hangover.
It is. Well, first of all, the loser of the Super Bowl, issue, but they do have flaws. They're not the team we thought they were, and both these clubs are struggling a little bit. I see some pretty significant money coming in right now on the total. You might look for this game to go higher, and I don't disagree with that at all. I think given the potential of points and talent on the offensive side for these teams and the defensive shortcomings, I think you definitely can see some points here.
I would agree with that. Now, right now on the website, Jim, you've got 4 selections up for the weekend in the NFL. You've got a high roller wise guy total, an NFL metric triple header. That's a package, 3 games for $49. Monday night game of the month, and those are 5 and 2 so far. And NFL Monday night total annihilator. So a variety of things that people can choose from in the NFL. I will have mine up in the next day or two. I'm a bit of a slowpoke in the NFL, but as long as the results are good, I don't care. But again, a variety of things you can get right now at JimFights.com, and a good opportunity to put yourself on the right side of the ledger.
Absolutely, Dave. I'm excited about this weekend. The NFL has been good all year long, and the totals have been exceptional. NBA started off 2-0. We're looking forward to this season. It's a long one. And then, of course, baseball. The baseball playoffs have been remarkable, I think, and I'm knocking on wood here. I think I've hit 6 in a row. So, and I got to play in baseball in the early game. I may have one in the late game, but I'm waiting for some stuff before I post that. So, JimFeist.com. You can get my plays and Dave's at JimFeist.com, or you can also go to VegasSportsMasters.com.
All right, and we'll remind everybody that this is our extended version. We'll do this once a week. And we're going to have podcasts on a virtually everyday basis. Weekends might be difficult, but make sure to tune in every day and check out what we've got. We'll be talking about games, giving you some good insight as to how you should be spending your money as far as wagering on these games is concerned, and hopefully get everybody in the win column. Let's do it, Jim.
Yeah, Dave, thank you very much. And a word to everybody out there, when you're betting on sports, shop for numbers. It does make a difference if you're laying 3 or 3.5. Believe me, at the end of the year, it can add up to a lot of money. So get yourself some outs and shop for numbers.
It will add up into a lot of money, and there's no question about it. And you got to shop around and look at it. If you do whatever you do to give yourself a better opportunity to win, and that definitely includes having multiple accounts. All right, talk to you tomorrow, Jim.
Thank you, Dave. Bye-bye, everybody.